Hi, everybody. Hello. How's it going? I'm just going to give everybody a few minutes to pop in. I know it takes a while for everybody to kind of hop in. Hi, Husbands that Cook. Hi, guys. Hi. Thanks for the hearts. Hey, hey, movement menu. I love seeing you. Hi, guys. Hi. Oh, look at all the hearts. I'm so excited to have you guys here today. I hope that you're gonna like this quick run through. I love seeing you more, trust me. Aw, I'm always happy when I get to be live. Yeah, me too. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. I'm talking. I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes to pop in. Hey, Anjus Eats, how's it going? So in case you guys don't know me, my name is Trisha. I'm a food photographer, food blogger. My blog is called Eat Your Beats. And happy Friday, absolutely. Hey girl. So I help food photographers and food bloggers get the knowledge they need to confidently capture amazing images. And I love coming to see you guys on Fridays. I look forward to it every week. And I'm always open for more suggestions. If there's something that you want me to cover specifically, just drop me an email, eatyourbeatsblog@gmail.com. Thanks for coming on each week. Thanks for showing up, Angela. I mean, honestly, I'm just always thrilled when anybody comes. So today we are going to be talking about great photography backgrounds, and we're going to go from more composition focused scopes. Okay, sure, yeah, that's easy, yeah. So today we're going to talk about food photography backgrounds, and we're going to go, could I be any more adorable? I don't know, but I'm going to try. Sorry, I get distracted when you guys say such funny things. So we're going to go from dirt cheap backgrounds to all the way up to pieces that are going to be more of an investment. And I always feel like food photography, just like anything, is a journey. And so, you know, if you're just starting out, your investment level is probably lower than somebody who has been doing it for a while and is ready to sort of make those bigger purchases. I see some of you guys are inviting people. Thank you, the butter half. If anybody thinks that your friends, your family, your mom, your cousin, your best girlfriend, your best boyfriend, if anybody you think would enjoy watching this scope, definitely invite them over. I'll be here for the next few minutes kind of going through a few options that you can use, and then this will be available 24 hours, and then I'll probably post it to YouTube so that I can write up a little post for you guys as well. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so a few things that I wanted to talk to you about are pieces that can be great photography backgrounds. And the fun thing about this is that you can, thank you, you can use literally anything, right? So dirt cheap. If you like to shoot with a white background, I don't do solid white very often, but you can use something just as simple as a foam board that you would use for, say, crafts or kids' school projects. You can get these at Target. They're really inexpensive, and actually they come in like a pack of 6 for like less than $5, I think. I usually buy a set of these. It's relatively small, you can see, but I buy a whole set of these when I teach a food photography class, because you can also use these as a reflector for whatever you're shooting for your subject. So you can use this as a surface. Just be cautious that if you're working with food that could be damp or wet, that it's gonna kind of bubble up on this foam board, which leads me to another great option if you love to use a white background is IKEA. If you have one of those close to you, IKEA does solid white board tabletops, like little end tables. My friend Beth from Beth Adilly Photography, she actually uses those, I think, quite often in her photography. She wrote a post about it. So I know that IKEA does do white tabletops, which are very handy. Moving on, linens. Linens are a great thing to use as a photography backdrop. In fact, you can use entire tablecloths. I have used large pieces of burlap before, you know, that you can buy at craft stores, but yep, I use those too. Linens are my favorite. I do like linens. You can see I've had this guy for a while. You can see how dirty he is too. And unfortunately, I just can't get him clean, but he does have these great little tassels that I love to kind of use. So whenever I get a chance, if I'm using a dirty spot, I just try to fold it or tuck it so you can't see, you know, how dirty it is. But I do have other linen options. You know, something like this, standard linen is great. This actually is an old antique salt sack. So this is a really fun photography background to use just because it has so much you know, it's a heavier fabric and it's got a lot of texture to it, so it's really fun to use as a nice backdrop. So love using that. Linens are great. Another thing that's great to use is, don't judge me. I do that too for dirty spots, yeah. Don't judge me on the state of this cookie sheet. We're pretty rough on everything in this house, but cookie sheets are really great to use as photography backgrounds, and this one's looking a little rough. The back of it looks a little bit better, but again, you have to be careful. You can see you have to be careful of reflective surfaces. You don't want anything too reflective that's going to shine back into your shot. But you can also take like an SOS pad and kind of get some of this gunk off. I rarely use something like this, but so I would suggest if you do have like a cookie sheet or baking sheet that you find at an antique store, or if you get one, once it gets to a certain level of distress, stop using it, because the more you use it, it's gonna just get worse and worse and worse, right? Do I know how to distress a new cookie sheet? Just use it. Literally, I bought this at Sur La Table. It was completely clean and clear, and I just used it. So that's why I say, when you get it to a point where it looks good, stop using it, because it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. This is not super great. I don't really use things like this, but I do actually have a shot that I'll share on my website of a cookie sheet that was not quite as far gone as this guy is. Another great option is vinyls. I used to use a lot of vinyls when I started out because, one, they were really inexpensive, and two, they don't take up a lot of space. So you can just get these vinyls, like you can just get vinyls that look like tabletops. And if you want to work in vinyl, I would recommend something like a 3x3. That's going to give you a pretty good surface space to work with. But you know, you can get them in all sorts of textures, and just the thing you need to be really cautious about with vinyls is that while on one side they're great, does the light reflect though? It does if they're very dark. So the darker the vinyl is, the more reflective it can be, and so that's why I would stay away from anything that's too dark. So something like that's not going to be super reflective. So the pros to using vinyl are, if you're shooting food and anything spills on it, it literally just wipes away, right? Very easy to clean. They don't take up a lot of space. Cons, and kind of why I stopped using vinyls, is because they have to be stored very carefully. Otherwise, you can see how they get very ripply and kind of bubbly, right? So unless you kind of are able to store them flat, you know, like, I don't know, standing up between some poster board or something, sometimes they can just get ripples in them. And, you know, typically I can spot a vinyl because it's hard to keep them flat. Scrapbook paper, yep, scrapbook paper is definitely an inexpensive option if you want to use that as a background. I don't do a lot of scrapbook paper myself just because I don't shoot a lot of stuff that has bright colors. I typically stick to black or white, but scrapbook paper is definitely a great option for using as a background. Parchment paper. If you can get natural, this is not a natural parchment paper, unfortunately. I have a really hard time finding natural at my local grocery store, but natural parchment paper is really beautiful. If you can get it kind of crinkly, even better. That's a nice, great background surface for you guys to work with. Cutting boards. Cutting boards are really great. Like I said, we kind of use and abuse everything in our house, but these cutting boards that I have, you can use olive oil to keep them looking nice. Whole Foods carries natural paper. Yep, yeah, for sure, they do. And sometimes you can get it at Sur La Table too. This parchment paper is good for cooking because it has the lines on it, so you can kind of, if you're baking, you know how much to pull out, but it's not great for shooting on because it's got lines on it. So cutting boards are really nice, and there's a lot of ways that you can use cutting boards in photography backgrounds by either, you know, placing your subject on it or even putting it in the background if you don't want to really see it. And honestly, you can get very inexpensive cutting boards. This is like a really, really old, super old Martha Stewart cutting board, so it's pretty old, and we've had it for a while. You can tell. I've got another cutting board that I use quite a bit. This is another one. And you know, anything that's just really got a lot of great texture to it, you know, colors, think about the types of colors that you want to use. Cutting boards are great. Sometimes Goodwill has old cutting boards. Oh, that's a good tip. Thanks. Yeah, I haven't been lucky enough to come across anything like that at thrift stores. I typically find, you know, plates and spoons and stuff, but I've never been able to find a cutting board. So that's a great tip too. So the next thing is a little bit more pricey. It's, yeah, the butter half. I use plywood. I had seen somebody else mention that you could use plywood. I myself have never used that, but that's definitely a good suggestion. If you can find, you know, just like a general size, piece of board plywood, then that would be great. And I know they also sell, what is that? The white beadboard, like at DIY stores. My kids call it the hard work store instead of the hardware store. So you can use like that white beadboard or something like that if you wanted it to be the background, not what your subject is on, but the background. That'd be really pretty. Another thing that I use is a marble pastry board. This again is from Tab, and it's relatively small. So, you know, you always have to consider those are kind of confines that you're working in depending on whatever size of your object that you're getting. It's also very heavy. So pros of a marble board, how much is that? I think these run about $40 or $50. I got mine from Tab when it was like 20% off. So I think I got it for like $30 to $40, which was actually, I was happy to pay that because I use it quite a bit. So it's definitely more of an investment, but see, Tab does good sales. And I think sometimes they do them seasonally. So I must have got it around Christmas when all of their baking ware, was on sale. So while this is beautiful and, a really great place to place things, it's also very heavy and you have to be careful when you store it. Like, I live in constant fear my kids are gonna knock this over and break it. Like, that's a real fear that I live with daily. Okay, so two more last options. One that I think is really great is finding reclaimed wood. If you live anywhere where you can have access to like a salvage place that does reclaimed wood, sometimes you can get planks. I actually came across a really great purchase that I've used quite a bit. I found these reclaimed wood planks at Hobby Lobby, and it just came in like a bundle, and they were, I found a foam board at Hobby Lobby, and it had a linen print on it. Oh, that's handy. That's a really good idea. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. That's a good idea. So Hobby Lobby does have some interesting kind of props and stuff if you've ever kind of gotten lost walking around there. It's very easy to do. But yeah, I used these wooden planks for quite a while, and essentially every time I needed to shoot, I just set them up, you know, in whatever order I needed, and they were actually the right size because they ended up being, they're about 2 feet tall, but all laid together they'd be about 3 feet long. So it was perfect. It worked out, and I actually shot like tons and tons and tons of stuff on those wooden planks. Everybody would always ask me like where my tabletop was from, and I was like, I paid $5 for reclaimed wood. Okay, so final option, and this is going to be something that's definitely more of an investment purchase, but I have not been disappointed whatsoever. I use these tabletop backgrounds, and I get mine from Erickson Woodworks. And the thing that I like about these is that they're very large. So if I just step back, you can see it's a pretty large surface area. So they're large, but not only are they big, they are real wood. Yeah, the movement menu, I have 4. Yeah, I have 2. I mean, I love them, and I always have my eye on like more. Like, I visit their website frequently. So the great thing about these is you can get 2 sides. Oh, well, technically I have 2, right? Because they have 2 sides, right? So you've got this side, and then you've got this side. And that's the great thing about the boards is that they're double-sided, which, I mean, I think that's definitely more of something that I'm happy to invest in. Not only is it real wood, yep, it's from Erickson Woodworks. You can find them, I think they're on Etsy, and they have their own website as well. They're on Instagram, Erickson Woodworks. So yeah, I really like that it's real wood. And I like that it's easy to wipe down, they stay clean. Those are all the pros. And honestly, the only con of using these boards is just that they take up space. So if you are living in like a tiny apartment, I agree with Anya. They're so nice, and they will, they'll make you custom boards. Absolutely. And what happens is you go to their website and you just choose, I didn't intend this to be a commercial for them, by the way. This is what I use. So, you go to their website and you choose what you want on either side. And so this is a dark concrete finish, which, I use quite a bit. Oh, you're getting 2 next week. Yay. Oh, they're local to you. You're lucky. Yeah, shipping is kind of expensive. I'd probably be there all the time if they were local. And so this is, I think, the shabby chic. And then I have another one. Ooh, too much going on now. I've got another one that is, yeah, I've got another one that's white. So this is a white distressed finish. And then this is a linen overlay. So, yeah, so Rainy Day Bite says there's one she uses the most. Oh, you have this, you have the white distress or you have the linen? Yeah, so both of those are really great. So that is basically everything that I know of. I'm sure you guys know more. You gave great suggestions as well on really inexpensive food photography backgrounds. So if you guys have any questions, I'll give you about 15 minutes or no, I'll give you about 5 minutes because I don't want to make this too long. So does anybody have any questions for me before we say goodbye and have a good weekend? Oh, the dark concrete. I love it. I shoot on that the most. And I like that the dark concrete is kind of a chameleon because sometimes it can look really gray and sometimes it can look almost black. It's my favorite board. Any questions, everybody? Thanks for coming. Give me some hearts if you loved hearing about this, if you thought it was helpful. Did I give you some new ideas? Newspaper is a great backdrop. Yep, newspaper, definitely great. Yeah, thanks, Danny. Yeah, newspaper is great. Oh, you know what sometimes I use? Sometimes if I get a package that was wrapped up like in some brown paper and the paper is really nice and crinkly, I'll use that. Foam boards, faux slate, or chalkboard. Yep, this is lame, but I don't know where to get newspapers anymore. Oh, you know, like I think most coffee shops typically have newspapers. I know I see newspapers all over Omaha, like when I go to like breakfast restaurants and stuff. I would think anywhere that serves coffee would have a newspaper. Don't like hold me to that, but I see newspapers often quite a bit. See, now you're going to be looking. That's right, the better half. Now your eyes are going to be like, looking, gas stations. Yeah, gas stations probably, that's true. Starbucks, yeah, Starbucks does. They have them along the wall now that I think of it. And the grocery store. Everybody knows where to get newspapers. So funny. I love it. Anything else? So, so some exciting things to tell you. If you guys love food photography and you want to learn more, cheap large towels at Home Depot. Okay, great option. Yeah, I've never used those myself, but you know, that definitely sounds like a winner. You know, personally, I think it's great to have like a whole collection of things in your arsenal. So the more you have, the better. If you have the space for it, you know, like just you'll figure out what you like using the best by experimenting. That's kind of the way food photography works. So, cool. Blank side of grocery bags. Yeah. That's a great one too. I forgot to mention that. I think I had it written on my list. We don't use a lot of paper bags around here, but if you have them, I have taken pictures on top of grocery bags. They're great because they almost get sort of leathery the more you kind of crinkle them. And they, you know, they'll just get softer and they're not really going to rip and tear. So they've got a great kind of texture to them as well. So anyways, if you need a full and complete resource, have questions on manual mode, want to know more about styling and composition, I have a full resource available on my website. It's my ebook called Eat Pretty Things. And my new ebook on low light, dramatic light food photography should be coming out really soon, like a week, like sometime around a week. I'm just finishing it up. So I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So I'm glad that you guys came and yay. And you know, if you have anybody you think would really want to see this, tag them on Instagram and let them know there'll be a 24-hour replay. And I will send this out to my email newsletter subscribers, okay? So have a good weekend, guys. Have fun. Thanks for the hearts, and I'll see you guys next week, okay?